So I'll be talking a little bit about social narratives, giving an introduction to social narratives, what they are, why we chose to do it for the McKinley Monument, why we choose to use them in our classroom, and the function of social stories. So when Dr. Hollinger approached us to make the McKinley Monument social narrative, we were of course on board because having that intervention specialist background, we understand the benefits of social narratives for individuals with autism or individuals who have some developmental delay that may need help comprehending the world around them through social narratives. So Michaela and I both feel very strongly that social narratives work with individuals with autism, and they can also work for individuals who may just need a little bit extra help getting through their anxiety about the world around them. Social stories break up tasks, they break up a new environment, they break up a new situation to help people understand what exactly they're going to be doing in the future. So that is our why. We really wanted to help the McKinley Monument become a more inclusive space for people with autism, for people with sensory aversions, and for people who may need a little bit of extra information to help their child or help someone that they're caring for that may have autism successfully navigate the McKinley Museum. So the function of social stories, I got this information from HIEHelpCenter.org. It's a really awesome website that tells a lot about social stories. They've done a lot of research about social stories, saying why they work, in what situations they work, and they pretty much concluded that social stories can work in any situation, any task, anywhere that a person may need a little bit of extra help navigating through a new scenario. So HIEHelpCenter.org says that although social stories are generally considered an informal aid rather than a rigorously validated technique, experts support them for many, many reasons. So the first thing is social stories approach key concepts of autism, including limited theory of mind and weak central coherence. It is thought that individuals with autism have limited theory of mind or that characteristics which allows people to understand others' perspectives. So some people with autism don't really understand what other people are thinking. Sometimes they don't understand the social cues when they go into a new environment, and sometimes they're just anxious about the new environment in general. It is also hypothesized that those with autism have limited central coherence or the ability to understand things as a whole versus as separate parts. So that's another reason that social stories really work, is it breaks down a scenario into separate parts. So you have a first, you do this, then you do this, then you do this, and last you do this, which really helps people who have that limited central coherence or the ability to understand things as a whole get through a new situation. So social stories approach both of those needs by explaining parts to form an entire message and demonstrate the thoughts and feelings of others. So an example of a social story that this website gave was riding a bike. And it uses images and words to demonstrate the concept of riding a bike and related safety measures. So a lot of times we take advantage for things like riding a bike, brushing our teeth, or even just walking into a classroom and putting our backpack down. Some people with autism cannot reason through the steps to do that because they get hung up on one step and don't know what to do next. So social stories can give them pictures, they can give them words, it can prepare them for when they have to do this task so that it's not so overwhelming. And I think that could really help. I think all of us understand a task that was overwhelming to us, and maybe we needed to break it down, and that's what social stories do. And they can especially be helpful for preparing children with autism for certain necessary tasks. So going to the McKinley Museum may not be a necessary task, but it's something that is fun and that kids would enjoy. But social stories can also help with those necessary tasks, like I said, brushing your teeth, going to the restroom. And sometimes kids just really feel anxious because they don't know what's coming next. And social stories help give them a concrete example of what is coming next.